Today, I want to talk about a very important topic, which is why you feel so unhappy and empty as a doctor, even though you've quote unquote made it. So, for a lot of doctors, life is kind of structured around this one singular promise that if you just endure now, it's going to be worth it later. This idea of delayed gratification. Years of studying, long nights, missed milestones. You did all the right things. You survived pre med, you did well on the MCAT, you got through med school, you got through residency, and now it's finally time that, you have the letters after your name, you have the white coat, you have the attending title that you've worked a decade or more to earn. And you always had that belief that, once you finally make it and you finish training and you earn that title and you gain this stability, that everything's just going to click into place. And for a while, it does. Initially, there's that relief, there's that pride and that sense of arrival. You're finally making real money, you're driving the car you wanted, you're living in a nice house. But for a lot of doctors, myself included, that feeling doesn't really last. Instead, it's often replaced by something that's kind of harder to name. It's like a quiet emptiness, it's a bit of a restlessness. And it's just realizing that reaching that destination just didn't feel the way that you thought it was supposed to. Why on Sunday nights does the thought of Monday morning feel like less anticipation and more like dread? Why does everything feel so hollow? And you probably also feel guilty for having these feelings because on paper, you're privileged and your life probably looks pretty great to other people. But if you're asking yourself these questions, you're definitely not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken and you're not necessarily doing anything wrong. This isn't a personal failure. It's a very predictable outcome of how medical careers are built, as well as general human behavior around achievement. The first issue is the achievement trap. Medicine is essentially designed around achievement. From your very first pre med exam to your final board certification, the path is very clear. You study, you perform, and you advance. Every stage has the next rung, a new credential, a new hoop to jump through, and you just go through the process. And although that structure is effective at producing competent physicians and it serves well for goal oriented people that like to know what their next step is, it also trains you to outsource your sense of meaning to the next milestone. So when your life is organized around this future validation, fulfillment is always going to be postponed. You don't ask whether you're happy, you ask whether you're progressing, and that's all that matters. And sometimes during that time of your life, especially something like residency, you really only have time and energy to focus on the progress. And by the time you finally make it, you've spent years living in anticipation. And when that anticipation ends, a lot of doctors are left facing the question that they've never been trained to answer, which is now what? So you have to find a way to set your own next steps that often have nothing to do with your career. Sometimes that next step looks like doing nothing and just sitting there and letting your mind think and letting your true self talk to you. You need to learn that life is right now, and in this moment, it's not on the other side of your next achievement. Progress is great, and you should still aim for it, but if you're going to fix this problem, you need to decide that your goal is now changed from chasing the next rung of the ladder to maximizing fulfillment and happiness in your life. And unfortunately, the rungs on that ladder aren't so clear to see and achieve. Again, when you're in med school or you're in residency, you kind of have this mentality of, I'm just going to sacrifice now and I'm going to get there. You think, I'm going to get through this exam, this rotation, this year, and then things will be different. You kind of promise yourself that there's this destination where the struggle ends and the satisfaction begins, where you can finally feel like you've made it. But what no one tells you during those years is that there is no finish line. Or rather, more accurately, it just keeps moving. Every time you think you're close to it, it's like a mirage and it just moves and moves and moves. You become an attending, and then suddenly, instead of being happy and fulfilled, you're navigating this EMR systems, insurance denials, and all these productivity metrics. The autonomy you thought you were going to have, it comes with a bunch of bureaucracy that you didn't know about. You thought you were going to get this intellectual simulation, and really all you get is these algorithmic clinical decisions and documentation that you have to do. And at the same time, the structure around you kind of loosens up. There's no external pressure of exams or somebody evaluating you. The goals become less defined. Whereas the goal was always just ahead, now that you're here, you realize that the goal itself might have been the actual problem. For the first time, there's actually space to ask yourself if the life you've built actually fits you. And a lot of people make the mistake of, instead of facing this discomfort and uncertainty, they'll fill their time and spend themselves working even more to avoid that feeling in their gut. They think that working more, making more money, buying more stuff, traveling more, it's just going to overshadow this feeling that you have. And ask me how I know. But that's not how it works. If you don't face it head on and you just fill up your calendar with more, it's going to fester and it's going to grow bigger. You're going to feel more and more numb until it gets to a breaking point. Now, the other issue is kind of over indexing your identity related to your career. For a lot of doctors, medicine isn't just a career, it just becomes entirely who they are. Being the medical student or the resident or the staff doctor, it provides this clarity and status and structure to your life. It tells you who you are, it tells other people who you are, and sort of how to measure yourself. And then when you finally arrive, you stop evolving that identity because you always thought this was the end point. You're no longer becoming something, you just are a doctor, and everything in your life revolves around that. So that version of yourself when you were younger that loved to paint or play guitar or just lay in the grass and think about nothing, that person's gone. And you sacrifice that person to become the doctor you are now, but now you're finding out that that's not enough to replace that old version of yourself. You've optimized yourself into this machine and you lost the parts that made you human. And like I said, I understand during medical school at times, definitely during residency, during those exam times, you're going to have to over index on your career at the expense of other areas of life to get you to where you need to go. But once you're there, those very areas are going to be the things that bring you happiness. So you have to set aside time and energy, and we'll talk about this later, at the expense of work to rediscover and build back those areas of life that give shape to the other parts of your identity. You can't let your career decide everything about your life. You need outside hobbies, relationships, ventures, and sources of meaning. And that allows for you to gain more joy from your career, not less. And we'll talk more about that in the next part here. Now let's talk about the treatment. Those are all the reasons, among many others, why you're probably feeling unhappy, even though you thought you made it. And in terms of the treatment, there's not some quick fix. There's several areas that you need to address. And the answer isn't the same for everyone, but the first step is the same. And that's again to acknowledge this empty feeling that you're having instead of just pushing through it by doing more. You need to recognize and fully accept the fact that making it to the destination revealed to you that that destination wasn't what you thought it would be. You have to give yourself permission to want more than professional success, more than prestige, more than the title that you sacrifice so much for. Where you are right now, you probably don't even remember how to not work. Your nervous system is so used to crisis mode, it doesn't know how to settle down and relax. You probably have the vacation days, but you spend them checking your phone or feeling guilty for not working or being at work because you think it's money left on the table and opportunity cost of getting ahead. The relationships that you put on the back burner throughout your training, those don't just magically appear in your life now. Your med school friends are probably scattered across the country, your college friends probably moved on, and you never learned how to make friends as an adult outside of being in a high intensity work environment where you probably just bonded with people over the collective trauma of residency call. And then, of course, there's your body. It kept the score too. The years of poor sleep, stress eating, skipped workouts, all of that doesn't evaporate just because you're an attending and you're making good money. Now you're dealing with the consequences. When you finally thought you had time to get healthy, you find yourself probably unhealthy. And the thing that I struggled with the most is that I lost my sense of play. You kind of just forget how to do things badly and enjoy being a beginner. You forget how to engage in activities just because you enjoy them rather than something to excel or progress at. So some of those, or maybe even all of them, probably apply to you, and it's going to take time to fix. And of course, prevention is the best cure. So if you're still a resident or a med student or even earlier, pay attention and make sure you watch out for this stuff before you fall prey to it. And if you're an attending, it's not too late. It's better to fix this now and live the rest of your life in a much better way. You might not even have to work less. It's more so about reorienting how you relate to work and making it part of your life instead of the center point that everything else has to revolve around. It doesn't mean you made the wrong choice in your career or that you're ungrateful or that something is wrong with you. You're human and you've run headfirst into the gap between what you thought you were getting and what it actually is. You need to recognize that fulfillment is something you get by constructing alignment in your life rather than just forcing progress forward. So, the first thing to do is that you need time and energy to solve this problem. For most of your training career, time is something that's just done to you. Your schedule is set for you, you're told when to show up, what you need to do, but now your time is your own. Once your training is done, that structure kind of disappears, but a lot of doctors continue to live if it hasn't. They quickly sign up for the first lined up job that they find and again run to someone else making their schedule for them. So if you're still in a position where you're deciding between jobs, see if you can do some locums on shorter contracts. Or if you have a job already, can you dial back a little bit? Obviously, real life exists, kids exist, bills exist, life events exist. So you're going to have to see what's realistic for you. I'm not saying just quit your job and sit near your home. But the reality is, if you're going to solve this problem that's been festering for years, you do need time and energy to get that done. That might mean waking up earlier, sleeping later, putting that physician income to work, and outsource everything: laundry, lawn care, home care, cooking. You might pay more financially in dollars, but it's going to buy you back your life in time, which is infinitely more important. You're not going to be able to figure this out with no time and energy available to put towards it. And then once you have that time and energy, you need to start rebuilding an identity. In your training years, everything else got deferred. You didn't have time for hobbies, relationships are on the back burner. You didn't have time to follow your curiosities. And that, again, makes sense at the time, but it creates this fragility later on. And rebuilding this identity, again, doesn't mean abandoning medicine. It just means widening your foundation a little bit. So you need to feed those other parts of your identity slow and steady. They've likely been starved for a long time, so don't go extreme. Just one day at a time, one forward action step in each area of life done for the long run. Choose one thing for your health, just one. A sport or a hobby that you gave up back in the day, the gym, whatever. Just get moving daily. Join the local club for that hobby. Join your local gym, show up for a group class, whatever it is. And then do one thing for your relationships. FaceTime your parents or grandparents once a week at least. Go to one social event per week, or set aside a date night with your partner once a week. Just something that waters the seeds in the relationship area of your life. And then the third thing, learn something that has nothing to do with medicine. Anything that you're interested in, a language, a new hobby, the weird quirk you had growing up, just revisit it. Pick up anything and just enjoy being a beginner and learning for learning's sake. No tests, no exam, no evaluations. And just those three things alone, that's a great place to start. It's nice and simple, and believe me, it's going to be harder than you think. You're going to feel like you're wasting time. These aren't things that pay me money. These aren't things that make people at work respect me more. But if you stick to it and you expand from this foundation, it's going to give you something much more important than money or the respect of those people, and that's fulfillment in your life. So instead of chasing the definitions of success that other people decided for you, titles, income, productivity, prestige, there's a time and a place for those things, but you need to redefine success yourself to a life well lived, where work and money is a part of it and an important part of it, but it's not the end all be all. And then on a daily basis, you can ask yourself, instead of progressing to the next rung of the ladder, am I controlling everything that I can in each area of my life to become the person I want to be, to become that rebuilt version of myself that I would like to be? Remember, now that you're done residency, you do have time and freedom. Don't just create another cage around you by filling it with work. Structure is a good thing, but you need to treat these things, like I said, your health, your relationships, your hobbies, you need to treat them just as importantly as you treat your career. Put them in your calendar the same way, show up for them whether you feel like it or not. The same way you treat your career, you need to increase the level of importance that these other areas have in your life. And what this allows is for you to reframe your career where it's like, I don't need everything good in my life to come from my career. It can just be a career. I can just show up do a good job, earn good money, and go home and enjoy my life and gain fulfillment from the other areas of my life. Your work's not going to be perfect every day. It's not going to be the dream job you dreamt of every day, but it's work. It pays you well. It opens doors for you. You need to use that to your advantage. And it's okay that work isn't that end all be all checkbox for everything for you. You were probably in your teens or 20s when you decided to be a doctor. And obviously, as you mature and you learn more, you realize that, yeah, this thing isn't the same thing that I thought it was going to be. And that's totally okay. I mean, I love my job. There's no other job I would rather do. Having said that, most of my fulfillment and true happiness in life comes from everything that I do outside of my job. But the reality is, my job is what allows for that through the money it makes me, through the opportunities it affords me. And that's the way it is. For other people who are lucky in their own way, they absolutely love their job, and being at the hospital or being with patients just gives them the absolute fulfillment, and that's great too. But you have to know yourself and work with who you are instead of trying to be someone you're not and trying to force your career to be something it's not. So all in all, just remember that this path of a doctor doesn't end at just being an attending. And in fact, that's just the beginning of a different, more complicated journey, which is figuring out how to build a life and not just a career, figuring out how to be a whole person and not just a highly trained machine. You have to do the work to find meaning in a system that was designed to strip it away. And that journey is harder than med school in many ways. There's no curriculum for it, there's no standardized tests, there's no clear metrics for success, but it's also more important because at the end of your career, you're not going to question whether you made it or not. You're going to question were you truly alive along the way or not. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this helped you out. Again, if you're having these feelings, please take the time, set aside the time and energy to work through this. You're not alone, and I wish you all the best. Cheers.